so hard if your best player is not a bucket getter to win 4 rounds. And so you look at the greatest true point guards ever. Jason Kidd got close a couple times. Stockton got close a couple times, even though he had Karl Malone. You mentioned Nash. Isaiah Thomas had the #1 defense in basketball, and by the way, was, in my opinion, the best natural scorer of that group of guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he just held his own scoring back.
That could do both.
Magic is Magic, and also was 6'8", and had Kareem, and there's a lot. It's really, really hard. With all that said, when Halliburton had 14 points midway through the 4th, the Pacers were in firm control of the game, and so it was working. The guy who I keyed on before the series, that I said, man, if the Pacers pull off what was going to be a shocking upset, he's going to have a huge game, has gone the other way, which is Miles Turner.
Yeah.
Not only have we not gotten what I said they needed, which was like the 28-point Miles Turner game, instead, game 4, there were a bunch of times the ball ended up in Miles Turner's hands, pretty good look, chance to either stem momentum or turn momentum, and they were bad misses.
Exactly.
They weren't like, oh man, that rimmed out. It was like, did that miss left?
Yeah.
Was it? So
those. That's what I mean. You mentioned OKC winning with 3 3-pointers. Indiana didn't shoot great from 3 either. They were 30%, 31%.
Yeah.
They only made
11 to
11.
36.
So that was a problem too. And it almost, like you pointed out late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
It almost, and I'm not going to accuse them of this because they are clearly a clutch team, but you're going to lose, you're not going to win every game in the clutch. But it almost looked like they relaxed, like they felt, we got this. You know what I mean? And so the things you mentioned, the missed free throws killed them. Like, even though I don't think, I don't look at it as a choke job, but you mentioned Toppin's 2 misses, Benedict Mathurin, who saved them in game 3, or was the star. He missed 3 or 4 free throws with 24 seconds left.
With 23.9 left, he gets fouled going for a loose ball. They're down 4.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, make them both. You're going to be able to play tough defense for 10 seconds or so and then foul. He missed them both, and that was a disaster.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, SGA had his minutes staggered, which freed him up to cook in the 4th. 15 of his 35 came in the last 5 minutes of the game. He also scored 15 of the Thunder's last 16 points. Here's the reigning MVP after the game.
I just tried to be aggressive. Like you said, I knew what it would have looked like if we lost tonight, and I didn't want to go out not swinging. I didn't want to go out not doing everything I could do in my power and my control to try to win the game. The guys deserve that much from me.
Okay, what did SGA prove?
I mean, that's the signature game and the signature moments of his career, and probably will be in 10 years. Like, it's going to be hard to top that if they win this championship. And bouncing around the internet is first guy either ever or at least since Jordan to, in the 4th quarter of a finals game, have 15 points while also going at least 8 of 8 from the free throw line. And that was the finals game Jordan did that was his final game as a Bull. And he even did kind of his own version of a Michael Jordan impersonation on the shot to take the lead. I mean, you got the nice little push off. No, I'm not even being,
also a travel.
It's actually not a travel technically. Not technically a travel, but it is. And by the way, this isn't me doing a shot at Jordan. That like those. No,
I mean, look,
no,
Jordan
those are great plays.
There's no doubt.
Right, and he pushed off too. And he pushed off too.
I mean, it is
but
what
those
it
are
is.
great plays that you usually get away with, particularly if you're the league MVP. And there are a lot of the better team, Brew, down 2-1 in a series, and we can probably stop playing this, signature moments from the star across NBA history and in recent history, where it's like, our season is on the line. We are supposed to win this series or very often this finals. Can I come through? Steph, 2022. Down 2-1 to Boston. What some people consider the greatest game of Steph's career. 43 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, even the series. Giannis down 2-1 to Phoenix. Had a good game. He had 26, 14, and 8. But that was the game where up 2 with a minute left, he blocked Ayton. The sick block on Ayton. Like the Jordan down 2-1 to the Knicks right after the hole. He was in Atlantic City gambling, had the bad game 3 they won anyway. 54. 54 while they're going, that was in a conference finals, not NBA finals, going for a three-peat. Like, so Shai understood the gravity of the moment and stepped up in a night where he was just fine, where he wasn't great. And people can get annoyed with it. I get annoyed with the flopping much more than I get annoyed with the creating fouls. But his ability to foul Nesmith out, that's why Mathurin was in. Mathurin came in for Nesmith because Nesmith had fouled out on the Shai when Shai felt the hand on his shoulder and went up.
I just hate that call.
I hate it too, but
lame.
But it's also history doesn't remember. The falling down I think is lame. The feeling that Dwayne Wade's signature career accomplishment was the 06 finals.
I know, I hated it.
Where he
Everybody feels like that
where he got to the line 20 times a game off that exact stuff. I feel contact, I'm going to go up. So fair's fair. I mean, so that's my takeaway.
Yeah, look, he proved he's the truth. I mean, period. Because we've seen all-time great players shrink in the moment. And it looked like, oh, man, they're going to lose this game, and then they're going to be down 3-1. He's, like you said, he was fine. He wasn't playing poorly, but he really stepped up. And you mentioned the three-pointer earlier. He scored, you mentioned 15 points in the fourth quarter, 8 of 8 from the line. He had 11 points in the last 3.5 minutes. And that had never been done. And it started, I think we're going to see this 3. This is when it was what? I can't remember.
103.99.
Yeah, and they cut it to 2 to 1. Right, they cut it to a point. That's when I thought the Thunder are going to win this game.
That's what I said, yep.
Right, once he hit that 3, because I was wondering how Shai going to respond in this moment. And when he hit that, I said, okay, this guy is dialed in, and that's when I thought they had the game. But here's the other thing. He had energy in the fourth. People are talking about he had no assists, which even as a 2 guard, you should be able to get an assist or 2 or 3 or whatever. But that's a big part of why he didn't have the assist, because he was off the ball. And Jalen Williams was initiating the offense, and they did that to rest Shai, because bringing the ball up the 40 minutes against pressure, like Nembhard is really in his jock, you know, and that will wear you down. So by them taking him off the ball, just making him a scorer, you don't have to worry about running the offense. That gave him the energy he needed down the stretch, and you saw the difference. So, yeah.
All that being said, though, you don't believe in them.
I do believe in them, but not town! Man, it feels good.
Why aren't the Wolves on KD's wish
back,
list?
baby.
That's next on FS1, the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. It's great to have you back.
Feels good.
I was lonely being the only person rooting for the Pacers.
You're not, but yeah.
Can we stay just a little bit longer?
Don't worry, we'll be back.
I can't believe they're leaving.